Hello, YouTube. It's your boy Nathan coming to you to do another recap video. Today we are talking Married at First Sight Season 20, episodes 14 and 15. Well, 13 and 14, I should say. We're in the breaking point and stay or say goodbye. So yeah, this normally when I do one, then two out of the one video, one episode, then combine the next two. This time I'm going to be doing two, and then do the last episode in a separate video, and I'll do that tomorrow. Because with this and these two episodes were crazy. And yeah, we reached the breaking point with one couple, and we'll talk about them shortly. So in the first episode, in episode 13, the couples are basically getting ready. We have another big group therapy session, basically. The first couple I want to start with is Caitlin and Devin. So Caitlin and Devin, they're trying. I have to say, they are trying, because 1 minute they're fighting. Remember last week they got into a fight in the car, and then they made up. They had a conversation about what can you talk about a lot, mostly. Caitlin said that she can talk about World War II and mostly Taylor Swift, basically. And Devin said he could obviously talk about rugby and everything. And they've been talking about how great each other is and stuff and everything. They even had a little date where they were watching rugby and just talking rugby stuff and everything. I thought that was cute. I'm glad to see an episode where Devin is actually not complaining about him not getting the time and affection that he was lacking and stuff and everything. And we'll talk more about that from the next episode when we talk about their little therapy session. So, out of the first episode, that's all we've seen. The next couple was Adam and Marissa. So Adam and Marissa, we seen Marissa have like her girls over, and she was talking about how the marriage has been. They talked about the basically Adam's intensity, with him being athletic and always like the pickleball thing, this and that. Marissa voiced her concerns about that, and basically wondering if she could basically keep up with that. Her friends were questioning him, and just like wondering like what his like true motives are. Like, do they does she want to? Do they want to be? Is she happy in this marriage and stuff? And she's like, she said that she had. I'm sorry, I can't talk. Marissa said that she has sometimes gone through and pattern her old self by not always being honest with the other person and with herself, But what I noticed with Marissa is that she needs to really speak up a little bit more. I don't think she speaks up more when it comes to Adam. I think she just lets Adam takes the whole control all over the place and everything. And right now it works, but it's not going to work in a long time. So Adam comes in and everything, and he comes into the lines, and after she was talking about how concerned she has with the marriage, and here comes Adam, and he meets the girlfriends and stuff and everything, and they shake hands, hug, and everything, and that was basically that. He feels he feels like, oh, these girls like me, this and that, and everything, and I'll talk more about that in the therapy session. So yeah. We didn't see much of Nikki and Sean in the first episode. They had like a little conversation. Same thing with them. They're trying. They are trying. Michelle and Cameron. Same with them now. As we all know, they're like the best couple of the season. But now Cameron is starting to have like a little bit of doubts, basically, within himself, because there's a little battle he got going on with himself, because Cameron, his storyline this season has been the fact that he does not have much relationship experience and everything. And now he's like wondering, okay, like, am I going to get bored in 20 years with Michelle? How do I keep the spark going? Why does Michelle even like me? And at this point, We seen him have a conversation with Michelle saying that since he's a basketball coach, he said that at practice he yelled at his players for not listening to him. You know, that's normal. Coaches yell. That's part of coaching. They're supposed to yell. You're supposed to yell at your players, yell at the kids, and everything when they ain't doing when they ain't listening, they ain't doing what they're supposed to do right and stuff. You gotta yell. You know, that's part of coaching and stuff. Um, and Michelle asked, like, well, you don't. He said that he doesn't. He when he came back, he said that he felt really bad about yelling at his players and stuff because he doesn't really. That's not like who he is really as a person, like outside of the coaching and everything. And since him and Michelle haven't had an argument, really, they like she hasn't got to experience that firsthand and stuff. Michelle is very optimistic about this marriage. Basically, you know, she said that not every day is going to be, you know, daisies and roses. Basically, we're gonna have tough days, but it's better to work through it and everything. So yeah. But I thought it was funny how he's like, I yelled at my player, my kids, they weren't listening. I mean, like I said, that's part of coaching. So yeah. What else did we see in this first episode before I talk about the train wreck of Courtney and Nick? I said Adam and Marissa, briefly Michelle and Cameron, Sean, Nikki, Adam and Marissa. Okay, Tori and Felipe. Yeah, Tori and Felipe. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, we still got Mecca and Beljo. Okay, but Tori and Felipe. So Tori and Felipe, and Tori's having a phone conversation with one of her girlfriends, and she told her girlfriend that one of her girlfriends that Felipe said in the last dinner that he basically still loves the single life. He still loves like sleeping with other women and stuff and everything. And now she was telling her that she feels like she's carrying this relationship more and more on her own. She feels like she's they have a puppy and she's out and she's out of town a lot. Well, not out of town, but like constantly in meetings and constantly doing this and that. And she just feels like Felipe is just not stepping up to the plate. She said that Felipe, he got his job from his parents, basically. And she said that he is a mama's boy. Like his mom does his shopping for him and this and that. And she said that's cute and everything, but it raises, she said, orange flags and everything. And she said she can't really ignore these orange flags and stuff. And she voiced to her girlfriends her concerns about this. She said to her, when they had the last group therapy, they asked would they stay married come decision day, and they said yes. But now Tori says that she says that if they ask me that question in the next session, she would say no, because Felipe is struggling with the internal battle of himself, and we don't know if he's fully committed. Does he even want to be married? So later we seen Tori and Felipe have a conversation, and Tori voiced her concerns like, hey, I want you to do a little bit more. I want you to look after the dog when I'm gone. And without me telling you and everything. And Felipe was like, if that's what you want, I'll do it. I don't want to make you feel like you're doing more than what you're supposed to. It's like, yeah, but still. But that's not all. But that's not it. Tori voices her concerns to Felipe, like, do you even want to be married to me and everything? And he says yes, but he still enjoys the single life. He wants to still sleep with other women and everything, and that is a concern that she has and everything. Now, Felipe has been really soft with his words. He's just like, I just. Yes, a single life is great, but I'm here for you, this and that, and I definitely want to see this through and everything. But I just feel like Tori is just in for the biggest heartbreak, and she doesn't deserve that. Everybody keeps telling Felipe that Tori is one of a kind. She's one of a kind, and she's really one of a kind. So I don't think that he needs to really be honest. Like, do you want to be with Tori forever? And we'll talk more about that when we talk about the therapy session. But do you want to be with Tori forever or not? Do you want to do your single life and go sleep with other woman? Go do that, but you're married. And Tori's just like, like we're not in the little, we're in the big leagues now. We are married. Like we can't be playing around. We're either going to be 100% in or out, and that's all there is. So yeah, in that part of the episode, that was Tori and Felipe. The next couple was Mecca and Bella Jolie. So Mecca and Bella Jolie, they had a conversation about like some reminiscing about some childhood things, and Bella said that her family used to have like mix snow and milk together, some kind of weird stuff. Okay. So one of my friends had told me that they used to just basically have like take snow and put it like on an ice cream cone and just eat snow like an ice cream. So I mean, I guess that's a thing, but okay. And Mecca, he opened up about how he was jealous with people like with their parents and stuff and everything because he didn't grow up with his mom and stuff, and so he was jealous and stuff about seeing like other kids and stuff and everything. And he actually opened up about a interesting little secret that he has. Mecca said that he has wet the bed, wet the bed until he was 13 years old. And a little embarrassing, but I know a lot of people who done that, and I've had people in my family who wet the bed at that age and stuff and everything. So it's not abnormal. I didn't wet the bed at 13. No. Although I will say sometimes when you're having a dream that you're using the restroom or you're dreaming, the last time that it happened to me, like it was, I think I wasn't 13, but I think I was 12. I had a dream that I was going to the restroom and then I woke up and yeah, an accident had happened and I was 12 at the time and that was literally the last time. But Mecca shared that story and everything. And now it's actually Bella Jolie's birthday. Mecca comes up with this brilliant like surprise for Bella. He decorated the house, made the whole house romantic, got her a nice cake and had candles. He locked her outside and she had to knock on the door and he was like, come. And he opened up the door for her and she was just all in all. He just serenaded her the whole night, got her presents and stuff and everything. And Bella said that, you know what, no one has ever been this thoughtful to me and everything. Like, and Mecca, he's been listening. He got her like this purse. I think he got her some kind of jewelry. Bro stuffed up. That is the true mark of a marriage, especially being married at first sight. You're listening to your partner. You know what they like, you know what they don't like, and that's how, and reciprocating those feelings. And then they're gonna try to be goofy. They were like, well, since Mecca was like, well, since I did all this, are you falling in love with me yet? And then she was like, I'm in the neighborhood, just around the alley, around Friendship Alley and stuff, Friendship Avenue and stuff and everything. But I'm in the neighborhood, basically. And he said the same thing. Like they're in the neighborhood. So I thought that was cute. So I like Mecca and Bella Jolie together. They're really, I mean, right now for me, they're in the middle of the pack, but I do think that they have the tools to make it, but they're trying to get out of the friendship, the friend zone level, and becoming more romantic and more like husband and wife vibey feel and stuff and everything. And again, we'll talk more about that in a few. So now it's time for group therapy again with Dr. Lisa and Dr. Paul. And all the couples have to meet up for group therapy. Everybody comes in and they go around the room to see how everybody's doing. Everybody's doing good. Caitlin and Devin said on the way there, Caitlin had like Taylor Swift on and she had paused and explained to Devin every Taylor Swift song. it is. And, Devin was intrigued by it, and everybody was like, she didn't have to do it, and he didn't have to do it, but they did. So that was good progress with them and stuff. So now we come into the train wreck of Nick and Courtney. So before the therapy session, Nick and Courtney had a conversation about, still being goofy. Nick had brought up to Courtney that, when we're out playing pickleball, when you're out with the group, I see that fun, goofy side of you, but I just don't see that with me and everything. And she's just like, well, you need to tell me. I don't always feel like you are being your true self, basically, and everything. So then Nick says that he wants Courtney to be like compliment him more, and and she was like, "Are you effing kidding me?" Now she uses the F word a lot. She kind of reminds me of Andre from 90 Day Fiance, but she's like, I compliment you. I say you're a hunk. I say you're good looking. She's like, yeah, you only said it twice in front of the group. And she's like, I call you a hunk. I call you this. What more effing no are you needing? So now they're in the therapy session, and they're just talking about them not basically being romantic enough. Like they're like Courtney just feels like she's just never going to be enough for him and everything. And like she says, like they both claim that they tried so hard, and it's just not working at all at this point. And basically Dr. Paul and Dr. Lisa asked Courtney and Nick, like, are you guys like really at the point where you guys want to end your marriage like right now? And at first Nick was just like, I would like to stay to learn more about myself. Now, I will admit that did not make no sense. Why would you stay in a marriage, unhappy marriage, so you can learn more about yourself just to finish out the process? That's not fair. Courtney even cussed him out on that. Like, the fact that you're effing saying that just shows that why would you stay here just for yourself? For yourself, you're not thinking of the other person. This, and that. Like Courtney was just going on and on, going off about him and stuff and everything. And then at the end of the day, Courtney was just like, you know what? I think it's best that we do in our marriage right now. And then Nick had to change her. She's like, yeah, I agree. I wanted to stay to learn more, but this has to be. And so the experts, I told them, well, we're sorry that this happened. Why don't y'all just leave I'll say goodbye and leave. They kicked them out. Y'all want to, I was laughing. They were just like, they kicked them out. They were just like, well, y'all want to end your marriage, say your goodbyes and get out. So they said their goodbyes. Nick told Dr. Paul that he wants to keep in touch with him. And he was like, absolutely, and everything. So heading into the next episode of episode 14, Courtney and Nick are outside just like talking about it. Nick actually starts crying and everything. And now Courtney's just like, oh, so now you want to show emotion. Now you want to, now you're crying. Now you want to show emotion. Now you want to do it when it's too late now. And he was like, me crying, I have to cry every time just to like show emotion. She's like, you don't, but like I'm starting to see more of the seriousness out of it now. And they just like, you know what, we're done here. We are done here. And then the producers asked Courtney what she do again. She was like, find me a different husband. Courtney is so, and the thing that Nick had issues with Courtney is that every time he tells Courtney something, she gets really defensive about it. She gets, and I've noticed that she gets, every time he expresses his feelings or his concerns, she jumps down his throat. As I said, she likes to say the F word a lot, and she gets defensive easily. Like she's a short fuse, and Courtney was just like, I need to be with someone who doesn't mind me being independent, who helps me to do better, this and that and everything. Like, girl, like, and if I said this plenty of times on my channel, I'm fine. Don't brag about your independence, because, okay, look, I've always said this. If you're independent, you got your own thing, job, house, car, whatever, That's fantastic. Proud of you. Hard work pays off. It's a tough world out there, and if you have that, fantastic. We're proud of you. But going into a relationship with that mindset, I'm independent. Someone's going to have to either be independent as me or help me even be better than myself. If not, and they can't handle it, they got to go. Don't punish somebody that's not on your level when it comes to that. That is not fair. It's almost like you're putting somebody else down who's not on your level, and you're punishing them out of love because of that, and that is not fair. Now, again, I'm not saying lower your standards, because if I say that, people were like, "Well, I'm not trying. I work hard, and if I that's basically lowering my standards." No, it's not lowering your standards. It's just about you being a decent human being, basically. So, she goes off and she just goes on and on about it, and I'm just like, "Girl, bye." I'm I told you, Courtney was the person that was going to be the most difficult person this season, and I was absolutely right. so yeah, that was Courtney and Nick. Now we're back to the therapy session, and we go over to Sean and Nikki. So they called this little session like a little board meeting, basically. Sean actually, Nikki still is still trying to find that attraction. She's still not fully attracted to Sean. She's still trying to find that attraction to him and everything, but she says that they're making strides a little bit with everything else and stuff and everything. Sean said that one thing that was missing, that he wants to talk to her mother. And he has not really met Nikki's mother yet. And Sean had came down with a big list of like what he wants to do. He told Nikki that he wants to shower with her, talk to the mom, like just play games and stuff and everything. Like the list was going on and on and on. We're just like, wait, what? And everything. So they called it he was basically a board meeting and everything, because and Nikki referred to it as like sexy talk, because with Sean being a doctor and he's basically smart, that's basically like his love language, from what I can tell, just like talking all intellectual and everything. So Nikki and Sean, they admitted that, and seeing Nick and Courtney break up in front of them, she said that was tough. I could relate. But with their slow start they're trying. I have to admit, everybody is trying at this. The rest of the couples are trying at this point. so that was Nikki and Sean. The next couple they went back to was Tori and Felipe. So they called out Felipe. They said that, what do you want to be alone, or do you want to be with Tori? Because the moment you decide to be, how are you going to feel if Tori, like, you have to ask yourself this: how are you going to feel if Tori, if you guys say no on decision day and break up, and Tori's pretty, like, really quick in the next relationship? How are you going to feel? And he's like, I ain't gonna lie, it's gonna feel bad. And you're left on with your cat or dog or whatever. And he was like, I ain't gonna lie, it's not gonna feel great. He's like, okay, and that's why we're here today. He's like, yeah, I want to be single. Well, not be single, but like live the single life and everything, and still be married. But he was just like, but I know I can't have my cake and eat it too. Duh, dude. Duh. Like I said, you're in the big leagues now, man. You are married. You can't just. And Tori's not going to be that person who asks for an open marriage or anything. You're going to either be with Tori and be married, or you're not. We're not going to be playing these games with you. And I'm glad that they called him out and said that you can't have it all like that and everything. Because Felipe he's been immature. Now Tori and Felipe had a conversation, and they're still they're still trying to be lovey-dovey about it. But the thing is that Felipe has been on thin ice from the moment that the season started. Now, the other guys that called out Felipe from the beginning, they noticed that he was going to be the person that the marriage is not going to work out. And judging by the previews of the next episode that I didn't watch yet, they're going to call out the other guys are going to call Felipe a clown and stuff and everything. So But yeah, I'm glad that they said that yeah, when Tori gets into a new relationship and she's happy and you're left to the that's how you want to feel. Yeah, and you're going to be in for a rude awakening because I feel like that's already happened because Tori and Felipe ain't following each other on social media. Well, Felipe is following Tori, but Tori ain't following Felipe. I've already checked that. So I just think I don't know if Tori's in a new relationship, but I do know that when she gets into a new one, she Felipe is going to feel a certain type of way, and that's his own fault because as she said he's struggling with his own internal battles that he just can't have a hard time fighting the urges just to go out and live the single life when he can't do that when he's now legally married. So I hope they figure that out. So the next couple they went to was Mecca and Bella Jolie. They talked about the birthday dinner and everything. One thing that they pointed out to Mecca and Bella Jolie is that like, do they choose each other? Bella Jolie said that they asked Bella, "Do you choose Mecca?" And she was like, "Yes." Like, and when they asked Mecca, "Do you choose Bella?" Bella, he paused for a little bit, and he was like, "Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do." And then that was a little bit concerning because like because then he came out and said, yeah, I'm not saying hell yes or anything as enthusiastic. If decision day was today, I would say yes, but I'm not be like a hell yes or anything. But and they were like, okay, but we still gotta there's still work to do to build up from that friendship all the way up to that intimate level. But they do like the path that they're on and that they're listening to each other. But Mecca still feels that somebody's going to leave and that she's going to leave. But Bella has made it really clear that she is here for Mecca. She is ride or die for him. Like she chooses him. Like nobody's going to take that from her and everything. And that's why I like them as a couple because I like Bella because yeah, she's ride or die for him. And she kind of reminds me of my girlfriend for that. No matter what I'm going through, what I say, my girlfriend is just the same. It's just like Bella Jolie. She is she's amazing. Like no, even on my roughest days, on my darkest days, she chooses me, and she's always going to choose me, as she says. So I respect Bella so much because yeah, it reminds me of what I personally got and what and this is the couple I can relate to the season because I feel, as I said before, I related to Mecca because I didn't feel, and before I met my girlfriend, I didn't feel like I was worthy of love because I'm like, who wants me? I mean, I feel like I should be loved, but nobody wants me more than a friend. Like, what can I do? And then I found someone who's right for me and stuff and everything. So I'm proud of them. I hope they make it. I don't think they are, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We got a couple of weeks up before decision day and stuff, so we'll see. So then they went over to Adam and Marissa, and Adam and Marissa were just really nonchalant in this therapy session. They talked about their little rough day with the pickleball thing or whatever, and they both told told the whole group stuff that they didn't that their spouses didn't even know. Like like Adam told the group and Marissa that hey, his sister is finally coming in, and she's gonna meet the sister for the first time. And she's like, "Oh wait, what? I'm meeting the sister? What? I didn't know this and everything." And then Marissa told Adam in the group that yeah, I had my friends over. They liked them, but they had concerns. And he was like, "What? They had concerns? I thought they liked me. They got concerns? What? Wait, what?" So Dr. Paul said, so what I'm noticing with you guys is that there's still a big communication issue with each other because you guys did not know, like Adam, you didn't, Marissa, you didn't know that Adam's sister's coming. Adam, you didn't know that Marissa's friends had concerns with your relationship. So you guys are just like really, like they said that they're like just coasting right now. And at this late in the game, you can't coast. You got to be got to put the foot on the gas and just go. But right now they're just coasting along, and they need to just like build it up a little bit more and everything. But I mean, right now they're still they're still coasting along, but again, but they're gonna have to really step it up really quick. Now later we seen them go on a like a water boat date or whatever and everything and talked about it and talked about everything. Again, conversation really went nowhere. Not gonna dig deep into that and stuff, but yeah. So then the next couple they went to was Michelle and Cameron. Michelle and Cameron, they're doing good. One thing they asked him what concerns is there going on, and that's basically Cameron's lack of experience in relationships. But he said that he does drive 3 hours away, like because sometimes he has to drive down to Oregon to do basketball, but he will drive back just to stay with Michelle. And Dr. Paul said that, there's a difference between, like, they haven't said the L word yet, but there is a difference between, like, saying it and showing it. You driving those hours just so you can stay with her, that's showing that you do love her. That's showing the love. And they encourage them to basically keep that going and stuff. And, there wasn't really much to say out of them other than, just get out of your head. You're doing great, and just keep showing the love. We want them to say I love you. And then later we seen them have another conversation about it. We seen Cameron start crying. He wasn't in the mood to talk. He's just like, he still has his doubts of why does Michelle really like me and everything. And Michelle is very optimistic. It's like we're gonna have bad days, but I'm gonna be there for you. And he's like, you're really optimistic. And I'm like, you have to be. And that's what this is all about. Now she asked a little crazy question. She was like, it would be boring if like everybody was just having fun all the time. Like we had to be serious at some point. Do you think at times, like if you kept on winning kept in coaching, do you think winning all the time would get boring for you? And he was like, as a coach, no, no, hell no. Why would you say that to a coach? Would winning be boring for you? That's crazy. When you're coach, no. When you're playing sports, the main goal is to win every game you play. That's the end goal. That is the goal. And if your husband was losing all the time, he would be out of a job. Hello. Now, Michelle, I like you, but come on now. so yeah, that was that. And then Caitlin and Devin, same thing. Progress has been made. Like right now they like each other and doing well, and compliment each other and lovey-dovey right now. Wasn't much to say out of Caitlin and Devin, but that it's every other episode with Caitlin and Devin. One episode they're fighting, next episode they're getting along. So yeah, that was basically it, you guys. With those 2 episodes. Nick and Courtney. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad that they're done. I was tired of Courtney. So yeah, but yeah, like I said, guys. Yeah, that was episode. Let me check this one more time. 13 and 14. Yeah, so yeah, that was episodes 13 and 14. I will watch episode 15 and do that review tomorrow. So anyway, guys, that is the end of my review. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Like I said, I'll be back on tomorrow to recap episode 15. We're going to do that video separately. So love you guys. Have a good one. Bye, y'all.